Welcome to a really drunk late night episode of Beerfield Fantasy Football. I am your way too intoxicated host at Hot BFF, as joined by the host who's been waiting for me for way too long at 3BFF. Dan, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm glad I'm awake because the last 5 minutes have been hilarious. Like, I was falling asleep on the couch. I even messaged Lindsay, live studio audience.
Because I didn't have a phone. Mine was dead. I was messaging you from my boss's phone, as I'm sure you saw.
Yeah, I'm just like, I messaged her. I'm like, I really hope everything's okay. I'm about to pass out. We'll do this tomorrow. And then you just send me the locking clean. I'm like, let's fucking go. Let's
go.
Just do it.
Yeah, I had no idea. Lindsay came home before I did. We showed up at the place before I did. I was on my boss's phone. We were cheating to win a game of trivia, which we ended up ultimately winning. They caught us cheating and said, if you do it again, we're going to disqualify you. So we didn't do it again. They had already, I think, bullshitly put me in second for 2 Coors Light jugging contests, which I think was bullshit. Because the first guy definitely spilled more than me. And the rule was you had to hold it over your head. And the second guy definitely did not hold it over his head. So I feel like I won both of those. Either way, did enough to get my team the win. So we ended up winning that. But that put the whole show behind.
Oh, you're good. It's fine.
We won based on disqualification. And then we got to the last round, which was the critical round to win. And I won on an answer of Weezer's Pork and Beans. Jack Johnson's Banana Pancakes.
Oh, that's my favorite song ever.
No, I won on I won on both of those.
That's
Weezer's
amazing.
Pork and Beans and Jack Johnson's Banana Pancakes. Won a
Okay,
$50 gift card.
We got something else we're gonna need you to win on. Colton is asking us, Josh Allen or Kirk Cousins this week.
Hold on. I'll let you go first on that.
That's fine, because Josh Allen's one of my sits of the week. So, despite Kirk Cousins, he put up a decent week. He didn't beat Rodgers, but that's fine.
As we argued about. He's got the Lions this week, though.
Yeah. At home.
Yeah.
Josh Allen at home against Baltimore, who've been holding just as good of quarterbacks to very minimal points. So I'm going Cousins. This is championship week. We don't fuck around here.
I'm with you. I'm going Cousins. We don't fuck around here. And the fact is that you've got Cousins at home against the Lions or Josh Allen at home against the Ravens. I like the Kirk Cousins matchup a lot more. So that's what you're going to go with.
And then he also asked Brandon Cooks or Jacob Hollister.
Ew.
I know. It's reached that point for Brandon Cooks, you really can't snip the field, and he's kind of fallen out of flavor.
Tight ends haven't done much against the Rams, but Hollister in Seattle's offense has been pretty good.
Yeah, the Rams get. Yeah, that's right. Rams get Seattle.
Yep.
Boy,
I almost have to say Hollister.
I think it is.
I think it is too.
I think it is. That's it's. I don't know. I think it's reached that point. I think you have to stop being cute with Brandon Cooks.
I think you do too. As a Brandon Cooks owner, I think I've already stopped being cute with Brandon Cooks because between injuries and ineffectiveness, you just can't keep dancing with that.
Yep.
I'm with you. So
he's okay.
You're welcome, Colton. Anyway, I'm at Hot BFF with 2 P's. He's at 3BFF with 2 F's. We're clearly on 2 different planes right now. Like I said, Dan's been waiting for me for a little bit. I have won a trivia round that involved a chugging of a shot of Jack Daniels and 2 Coors Lights. So I'm a little not here right now, but we're going to do what we can. So let's go ahead and hit some news, which I see that there's some of, and then we'll get into hangovers and stuff.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
News. What's fueling Beer Fueled?
I forgot we're drinking stuff. So I hope you got that. I can. Yeah, you
No, I
did.
did. I got. That's why I started laughing.
All
right
right,
away.
what are you drinking, Dan?
I'm drinking North Coast's Old Stock Ale. It's the 2017 year.
I have one of these that I have not cracked into yet, so I'm curious what you have to say because I've been aging it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what the hell it is outside of it just probably being a straw ale. Anyways, I'll give you guys my my full thoughts on this at some point if Hopper doesn't pass out.
I'll be fine for the whole episode. We've got Old Stock's Dad's Cookie Co., which is it's an oatmeal cook op. It's a oatmeal cook ale. Oatmeal cookie ale. Yeah, get it. But the Scotch stout as well. So, I guess the idea here is that the cookie company was a old Scotch oatmeal cookie company, and the beer is supposed to pay some compensation, representation, homage to that, if you will.
Okay.
That's the word I was looking for. So, what it is basically though, it's a oatmeal cookie stout. It's supposed to it's an oatmeal cookie Scotch stout hybrid, which is supposed to pay some homage to an oatmeal cookie type that the brewer's dad made. So we'll see where we end up with. Let's get to the news now for real, and then we'll go from there.
For real.
For real.
News.
All right, Panthers fired head coach Ron Rivera. He was in his 9th season with the Panthers. He took them to a Super Bowl. He had a lot of success with the Panthers and was eventually let go because of the underperformance this year. I think Riverboat Ron is going to land on his feet, but the Panthers are entering a kind of, I don't want to say necessarily a full rebuild because I think the offense is good enough to not go into that, but a state of transition.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what they do with Cam Newton and they still got Kyle Allen, which isn't much, and they drafted Will Greer. So they're not in a full rebuild. They got some really good pieces on the offensive side of the ball, and I agree with you that Riverboat Ron will, if he doesn't get a head coaching job, he'll get a defensive coordinating job.
Yeah, he was an excellent defensive coordinator for the Bears before he ended up here. And I think that there is a 0 chance that he doesn't end up in a head coaching job before the season's over. So, the Chiefs signed free agent running back Spencer Ware. This is, again, a depth signing, a guy that already knows the Chiefs offense. Darwin Thompson and LaShawn McCoy are the two that you want to have, not Spencer Ware. But he's there because they're injured, and he knows the offense.
It sounds like Damian Williams has a chance of playing. I put this in because it just kills off Darwin Thompson truthers. It's been a fun ride. People have waited, and then they go on, they sign a running back off the street, and now he's dead again. So I'm happy for it.
Yep. Speaking of people off the street, the Dolphins have claimed show favorite Mac Hollins, who's a guy we liked on the outside, off of waivers. He recently played for the Eagles, so Mac Hollins was cast off as a guy the Dolphins can pick up, and they're definitely looking for people to succeed on the outside. So I think that anybody that's picked up by the Dolphins, you almost have to own at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially
for dynasty-wise, it's just a stash.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If you're a stash or a rebuilding team and the Dolphins are signing somebody, you pick them up just in case. And we've seen what Devontae Parker can do. You don't have Preston Williams, so I think you owe it to Mac Hollins. Just pick him up and stash him if you're a rebuilding team and see what he can do, and then go from there.
Yep.
Bucs coach Bruce Arians states that Ronald Jones is still a starter, which... Okay. Yes.
I guess.
With Ronald Jones and Peyton Barber, is that Peyton Barber has been getting the majority of the goal line carries, and that's really what matters there. It doesn't matter who's the starter; it matters who's getting carries in crucial situations. And the last 2 weeks, that has not been Ronald Jones.
I don't give two shits about the Bucks backfield. I've casted this aside before the season even started.
And the Dolphins claimed running back Zach Zenner off waivers from the Cardinals, if anybody cares.
The all-white backfield.
You
Miami.
care?
And Miles Gaskin.
All right, cool. Going to hangovers.
Hangovers.
All right, Josh Jacobs said he's been playing through a fractured shoulder since week 7, which is quite the revelation if it's a fractured shoulder.
Bit painful.
Yeah. I can't imagine a fractured shoulder feels good, and the fact that he's been playing through it and playing through it as well as he has been is really a testament to Josh Jacobs, because playing through a broken shoulder, probably not what most people do.
Probably not the ideal situation he wants to be in.
No, so my mic just fell off my stand, but I think that that does a lot to Josh Jacobs' toughness, honestly.
Yeah, it does.
Right, Will Fuller was a limited participant. I'm assuming that's what LP means.
Yes.
He practiced because of the hamstring injury. He did play. It's the same hamstring. It's not a new occurrence. It's the same hamstring injury, so I expect him to keep playing.
Yep.
Royce Freeman, limited participant to practice today because of rib injury. Same kind of thing. He's expected to play this weekend. You still aren't starting anybody other than Philip Lindsay in this backfield.
Yeah, well, for sure. We got a question. We got more
Okay.
questions. Maybe we got to do some more late night streaming. So
Maybe
another,
I should be more sober for them though, because I'm
Probably.
struggling right now.
probably. So this is from JD. Shout out to JD. He's part of our listener dynasty league.
What's up,
He's been a
JD?
listener for a long time.
Yeah, long time
He's got-
listener.
PPR. I'm assuming start one.
Okay.
Allen Robinson, Devontae Parker, or Jarvis Landry this week.
All right, Allen Robinson has the Bears,
Oh.
Devontae Parker, the Jets, or what was the other one?
Jarvis Landry, who has the Bengals.
I'm Jarvis Landry there, with Devontae Parker being second. I just think
I think I go Parker more than I think I go Parker.
Parker's
over
about the only
Landry.
person the Dolphins are targeting, and I'm Landry for the Browns just because he's been the most targeted and effective wide receiver out of that group, outside of Beckham. But if you're looking for insulation, I think that Devontae Parker with the Dolphins against the Jets is probably the most insulation you can get.
Yeah, I mean the Jets are good enough on offense, and the Miami's bad enough on defense to keep this game relatively close. I don't think it's going to swing either way. Both teams have shown that they can put up points.
Mhm.
Cincinnati, who knows? I mean, I like Robinson, but not more than these guys.
No, I'm probably Parker over Robinson or Landry here with you.
We're on Team Parker, but I can't believe we've reached that point. We're Team Parker over people.
We're there.
The fuck happened to everything?
Jimmy Graham did not practice today due to a calf or wrist injury. Don't start him.
Yep, don't start him.
Adam Thielen did not practice due to his hamstring injury. Keep an eye on that. Pleasure starting him at the ends of Detroit. If he doesn't, then
There's no way I'm starting him. Like something feels off, where it just feels like he may not play until Green Bay.
Yeah.
They may look at the next 2 weeks as like, okay, we can get through them on our own. And
Maybe.
then Green Bay comes for the division.
Maybe. Dalvin Cook, limited participant in practice because of a shoulder or chest injury. And I think that's what it comes down to, really, is the Vikings are going to need one of Adam Thielen or Dalvin Cook. So who's more healthy? I think is what that comes down to.
It's going to be Cook. Cook's going to play. The biggest concern is how long. If he gets hit in the same spot, does he come out again and he's done for the day? And if they're up by if they're up by double-digit points second half, you're seeing Madison the rest of the way. Like,
see, I almost wonder if they just try to throw to beat it with Thielen instead of using Cook.
because I think with the hamstring, it sounds like the shoulder injury is something that Cook is going to be able to play through, or his chest, whatever it's an SC joint sprain. I think is what it is.
But you know what I'm going to ask you, right? Is that if Cook can play through that, why did they not let him play through that in a loss to Seattle if he really could play through that? And I've seen that floating around that Cook could have played through it or he wasn't that hurt or whatever, but in a league where you're competing with the Packers, why would, if Cook could have played through something, you keep him on the bench to not play through that?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think anybody has those answers, but
that's the part that I don't buy. And I think you get that.
It's the same thing with Thielen is that he's been limited and then he gets a setback and that's it. I don't think Thielen plays. I think Cook does.
And you get where I'm coming from, though, right?
I know. I 100% agree with you. I think
that
there's something more with Cook that there was last year with the hamstring problem.
Oh, with Cook not playing, you get where I'm coming from. That with Cook
not
playing,
yeah.
Why do you say that he could play, and then you keep him on the bench during a loss when he could really help you for the next week? Like, I'm sorry, but I feel like we think Cook could have played or was healthy enough to play, that you play him against Seattle to keep yourself in the game versus holding him out of game to go against Detroit. And,
I don't know.
And that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm not
it's
sure.
It's a matter of who's more healthy for me.
Yeah.
Because
no.
I think there's a lot that's fucked up about that statement.
Yeah. It didn't sit right with me, but I'm not going to question a man's toughness. And then, in that situation when
I'm questioning Mike Zimmer and how
okay,
honest he's being
that's
with
fair
the
too.
media. Because I'm not questioning Cook's toughness. I'm not at all. But it was ultimately Zimmer's decision. So if Cook is tough enough to play through that injury and play in the Seattle game, why did you choose to take the loss there? Like, why would you choose to take any loss if he was really healthy enough?
Maybe they felt like Madison was good enough.
But he wasn't. And
well, I mean, Madison wasn't the problem. The offense wasn't the problem. It wasn't. It was the defense.
I think you get what I'm saying too, right?
No, I do. I 100% agree with what you're saying. I think a lot of it is based on stuff we'll never know.
It's gonna be that is Thielen or Cook gonna be more healthy coming into this? Because they said what they said about Cook, but ultimately they didn't own up to that. If Cook was healthy enough to play, I think in a game that they were losing, they would have played Cook if he was that healthy, and they didn't. And you knew Thielen wasn't that healthy. So who's going to be healthy enough to play against Detroit? And that's who you start.
So the long-winded answer is really stay tuned to Thursday and Friday's injury reports to see what comes out, and be prepared to flex away from one of these guys or both of these guys.
And if you have to flex away from Dalvin Cook, it's Alex Madison. I'm saying
like even if he plays, my concern is what we saw from David Johnson, not too long ago with the one snap thing. Also, like again, like there's so many things. Like even if Cook plays, you have to pray that he gets all of his work done early, because if he doesn't, he may be taken out of the game right away if the Vikings are up or down by a lot of points. Like like that's the reality of it all is that Madison has proved enough this year that he can take on more of a role because he fits in his skill set fits the same way that it does with Cook in this offense, to the point where that he can be successful. And if he looks that good early on, speaking of Madison, they may not keep leading, or they may go away from Cook. So I
think they could.
So just be mindful of what's going on and just keep up with the news that is coming out.
Yeah, pretty much. Calvin Ridley, limited participant in practice with a toe injury. keep an eye on that. Julio Jones is also dealing with injuries. So watch
Yep.
that. George Kittle, limited participant with knee and the ankle. He's been dealing with for a while.
Yep.
Derrick Henry, limited an ankle injury again.
Well, hamstring.
Hamstring, sorry. Again, kind of dealing with that. It didn't really hamper him much last week, so.
I mean, when he
Yeah.
killed the Colts. So, yeah,
Yes.
I think he's okay.
I think it was all right. Paris Campbell logged a full practice. T.Y. Hilton unsure if he'll play again the rest of the season because of his calf injury. And the Colts is an interesting situation. You got Marlon Mack, not sure if he's going to play this week because of a hand injury, who could come back at any point in time, but isn't. Paris Campbell probably going to come back, with T.Y. Hilton probably going to stay on IR. And Jack Doyle being probably the most reliable pass catcher. For me, I'm just like, it's Jack Doyle, and I don't want anything else to do with this offense.
I don't mind Pascal this week, but it's going to just be Jack Doyle. It's Tampa Bay, so
Yeah, I think you just go with Jack Doyle there.
that's fine, too.
Yep. James Conner, limited participant practice with shoulder injury. Pretty much expected, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think he plays again this year.
I don't know that he does. Odell Beckham, limited due to a groin injury again. Jarvis Landry, I think, is the most surefire option.
Yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster considers himself week to week with the knee injury again. James Washington, week honestly, is where I'm leaning.
Yep.
We got Cincinnati. It's a very, very good matchup. And Juju is very, very questionable. And Devlin Hodges and James Washington have rapport. So
Yeah.
I'm just recommending James Washington. Taylor Gabriel has been ruled out for tomorrow night's game against the Cowboys due to a concussion. Just means that Anthony Miller, who has gotten a shitload of targets, actually done something with him for the Bears, is going to be another viable option as a floor player.
I like him this week.
Yeah. And I don't think you can say anything other than that you like him this week. He's not been otherworldly, but with Gabriel out, he's gotten targets and he's made the most of them. He's a good PPR option. He's a good floor play. If you've mostly got the advantage, you just plug him in and play him, really.
Yep.
Matt Breida logged a full practice. He's dealing with his ankle injury. So, yeah.
Yeah.
49ers are pretty meh, regardless. Both Williams brothers, Damian and Daryl, did not practice for the Chiefs. Damian with a rib injury, Daryl with a hamstring injury. I think it's Jarwin Thompson and LaShawn McCoy here.
I think it's nobody. It's New England. So I'm not. I mean, maybe McCoy because I think he'll get the pass
I'm taking
catching work.
McCoy for floor if I'm taking anybody and nobody else.
Yeah, I'm not. There's absolutely no way I'm playing
Yep.
a Chiefs running back with confidence this week.
Yep. Julio Jones, limited participant in practice, shoulder injury. We already kind of covered that. AJ Green is out for week 14, which, duh.
Shocking.
Yeah, Kerryon Johnson returned to practice. He's not able to play until week 16. Just, he's not worth anything. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
Marlon Mack returned to practice. I can return on Sunday. If he plays, you can start him. If he doesn't, then don't start a Colts back. Yes.
Yep.
Evan Ingram expects to play Monday against the Eagles. He's been battling a foot injury. And I'm probably going to play Evan Ingram where I have to. Because you're not... no good news on Golden Tate. So.
You better... If your plan is to play Ingram, then you need to roster Caden Smith. Just in case if Ingram can't go. If not Ingram, then Dallas, either Dallas Goedert, who I'm sure isn't on waivers at this point, but Caden Smith is the guy you want to own just to insulate yourself with Ingram if he doesn't play.
Yep. Or I could just start Greg Olsen, who didn't practice on Monday due to a concussion.
He's not going to play.
No.
I
Ian
don't think
Thomas.
so. Ian Thomas, baby.
Yep. And DJ Moore. Baker Mayfield practiced in full. Not that surprising. Daniel Jones spotted in a walking boot and has already been ruled out for their Monday night game against the Eagles. So Eli Manning
I mean, Brian Fitzpatrick just went off on them. If Golden Tate and
Is Eli
Ingram
Manning?
and Shepard play, that means that's the first time this year the Giants will have all three of their
Eli
skill
Manning
players.
is getting one more hoorah. And I am all about Evan Ingram and Eli Manning one more hoorah.
Can you imagine if Eli Manning's the QB1 during the fantasy football playoffs? Can you just imagine that world?
If
Imagine
Daniel
Twitter.
Jones is not playing the Eagles, it is Eli Manning. You know that, right?
That's what I'm saying. Is can you imagine a world if Eli Manning is the QB is the
I hope
fantasy
so.
QB1?
I really hope so.
Be great.
Eli Manning against the Eagles. Just holy shit.
Yeah.
Hope that happens. NFL Network's Tiffany Blackman reports Cam Newton will undergo surgery on his broken foot. Been trying to rehab it without surgery, but it wasn't getting any better, obviously, which is why Kyle Allen has been starting. Riverboat Ron has been fired. A lot in flux for the Eagles right now.
Yeah, the Panthers. They're in full.
Sorry,
they're
Panthers.
in full rebuild. Yeah,
Lot
they're in
in-
full retooling right
A
now.
lot in flux for the Panthers. We're going to see a lot in retool, and we'll see what happens with Rivera being fired and what they do rest of the way.
Yep.
God damn it.
No, do it all. Say the whole thing.
Dolphins placed legendary running back Kalen Balazs in IR, ending in what most considered to be one of the greatest running back seasons ever. Yeah, Balazs under 3 yards to carry, not any relevance whatsoever.
He's under 2 yards. He's at 1.8 yards per carry.
1.8 yards to carry.
Yeah, it's
Not being worth
the.
Jolly Jack shit.
I think being hurt will actually help him.
Yeah, I'm with you. He might be worth more on IR because you're not plugging him into anything.
Kalen Balazs must start on IR.
All right, let's go ahead and get into the starts and sits for Top Shelf and Rail, and then we'll hit beer review stuff.
And stuff.
Top shelf or rail?
All right, I'll go ahead and start Kenny Golladay against Minnesota. Xavier Rhodes has absolutely not been good. He's been torched at least the last 2 weeks. Kenny Golladay in rough matchups the last couple weeks has been at least viable. And again, he's starting against Minnesota where Xavier Rhodes just got torched on Monday Night Football. So I think you have no reserves about Kenny Golladay this week.
No, God, no. That's why I have Marvin Jones written down.
Yep.
I love both players this week. I figured it'd be we'll do a little duel off between Detroit wide receivers. As you just mentioned, the Vikings are terrible against receivers. They're just bad on defense. Their secondary has been torched all season long. Trey Waynes is bad. Holton Hill has been banged up. He's a young player. Same with Mike Hughes. Minnesota has been giving up over 44 points to receivers over the past 3 games. And it's going to be one of them, if not both of them. Marvin Jones' best game of the year also came against the same Vikings team when he put up 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. All right. As far as Devonta Freeman goes, he's my next start of the week. He gets the Panthers. They have not been good against running backs as of late. Absolutely torched the last couple weeks. Devonta Freeman's back. Brian Hill did nothing to take over the job from him. He gets the majority of the running work, and the Panthers have been very, very beatable on the ground.
I mean, Darius Geis and Adrian Peterson went for over 250 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. So,
Yep.
It's a good sign.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So, when holding Devonta Freeman, this is what you am right.
Yep. My next one is James Washington against Arizona. He's been killing it over the past 4 games. He's got 3 games over 90 receiving yards and also 3 touchdowns during that span. We expect this game to be at a high pace as Cardinals generally run the most offensive plays, pushing that game pace up to what we love to see. They've also given up over 48 points per game to wide receivers over the past 3 games. So a lot of floor and a lot of upside for Washington.
Yep. My next start of the week is going to be Robbie Anderson. It's Robbie Anderson season, to say the least. He's been a playoff beast the last couple of years, and he's not doing anything different this year. He had 86 yards and a touchdown from 2 weeks ago, 101 yards last week, a touchdown the week before, and he's going up against Miami, who has not been necessarily getting into wide receiver position. So Robbie Anderson, given the way he's trending and the matchup that he has, if you have him, I think you absolutely start him for this week. It's why you have Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, I agree. My last one, Philip Lindsay. We talked about the Broncos backfield on Monday's episode. It's starting to tip and lean towards Philip Lindsay's side as he's had over double-digit touches during this 4-game span, while Royce Freeman has seen less than 9 carries and only a few catches on a per-game basis. Texans have given up over 100 yards per game to running backs over their past 4 weeks, including a couple touchdowns there. I think Lindsay is game script proof because he does get work in the passing game, and he does get the work when they're in catch-up mode. Also, third string quarterback, they're going to lean on the running game more. I like Philip Lindsay this week.
Yeah. All right, that's it for the starts. So again, you have Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay, Devonta Freeman, James Washington, Robbie Anderson, and Philip Lindsay for your starts of the week. For your sits of the week, I'm going to go ahead and start Devin Singletary against Baltimore. Look, Baltimore is not necessarily giving up a ton to running backs. They've given up in the teens for 3 of the last 5 weeks. Raheem Mostert got up into the 20s, but track star, pretty much.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley just 1 point, Carlos Hyde 12, Mix 15, James White 14. And you figure that the Buffalo Bills are going to go other ways. They're going to be able to throw, they're going to be able to defend, and I just don't think that they're going to lean on the run enough to be able to beat Baltimore. So they'll be able to put up a significant amount against Baltimore, especially the split backfield that is still Frank Gore and Devin Singletary. I'm just not big on Devin Singletary against Baltimore.
I like it.
All right.
We're going to go to the other side of the Houston-Denver game. We're going to go to Duke Johnson. Speaking of a lot of these split backfields, this one just feels like a bad game script week for Duke Johnson. Denver's not going to push the pace like New England could have threatened it. They're not going to do what the Ravens did, where they have to play in catch-up mode. They're going to lean on their grinder back and Carlos Hyde. Also, Denver's only given up 15 catches to running backs over the past 4 games. Not a whole lot of work for Duke to actually just kind of fit in. Going to give you a lower floor. You got to hope that he falls into the end zone. And we're in week 14. You can't be shooting prayers up there right now. You got to be playing the right pieces and the right matchups. And I don't think it's Duke Johnson week.
Yep. And I'm right there with Kenyon Drake. You can't be shooting prayers up there. And who were they playing again? Oh yeah,
they're playing Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yes. Pittsburgh has not given up more than 10 points in the last 6 weeks. 7 weeks. Sorry, they're going to have 6 points in the last 7 weeks. Wait, I said that wrong. You get it. They've been giving up one game over 10 points over the last 7 weeks. That's what it is. They've been up one game to Kareem Hunt over 10 points in the last 7 weeks with PPR. I don't care what Kenyon Drake's done. He's been very, very good. The fact is that 12 points is a high given up by this team pretty much all season. They gave up 13 to Jeff Wilson in week 3. Not that much of a difference. Either way, they haven't given up a ton of passing backs. They haven't given up a ton of backs in the passing game. That's what Kenyon Drake is. And the Falcons are going to have to find a different way to do it than through Kenyon Drake. So, you are sitting Kenyon Drake.
We're going to stay in the same team. I got Christian Kirk. I know it can be kind of difficult to sit a guy that's been kind of blowing up lately, but he's actually cooled off since his 3 touchdown performance only a few weeks ago. Also, Pittsburgh has just been good defensively overall. They've only given up 9 catches a game over the past 4 games, just 9 to all wide receivers. I get it that the Cardinals can push tempo and they can, throw the football a lot. But even this past week against the Rams, where they were blowing out 34-7 in a very pass-friendly game script, Kurt only had 3 catches on 7 targets. I'm not feeling it this week against a very good up-and-coming Cardinals or Pittsburgh defense, especially with the Cardinals' offensive line woes. The Rams had a lot of pressure on Murray with their front seven, and Pittsburgh's front seven is very, very good. I expect the same. Not a big Christian Kirk fan this week.
Nope, and in the same vein that you're not a Christian Kirk fan, I'm not a Brandon Cooks fan. He hasn't done anything much with the concussion, obviously, but most of the season. Seattle's been relatively good against the pass here recently, and Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods have gotten more of the passing work for Los Angeles. So, Brandon Cooks, I'm just recommending you stick him on the bench. We need to see something out of him before you can reliably start him. I'm not saying drop Brandon Cooks, but you need to hold on to Brandon Cooks because the Rams' offense has not been necessarily great. And what has been great has been Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. They're the two that are getting the passing work, not Brandon Cooks. And Seattle has not given up a whole lot. So if you're leaning on defense, you need to sit on that for a minute.
I agree.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit a peer review.
I got to get my last one.
Oh, yeah, your last one. You got Josh Allen versus
Josh
Baltimore.
Allen. So last time I said that Josh Allen was a set, it backfired in my face. I'm going back to that well, though. They get Baltimore. We spoke a little bit about this during one of our listener questions here. Look, Baltimore's been fantastic against quarterbacks, especially as of late, especially against good quarterbacks. Jimmy G, who's seen a bit of a resurgence, put up just 9 points on this team last week. 3 weeks ago when they played Houston, Deshaun Watson put up just 5 points. And Russell Wilson back in week 7 put up just 15 points. Like, I get it with Josh Allen, you're going to get a rushing floor. But all 3 of the quarterbacks I just mentioned have similar rushing floor to them and didn't do much with it. Again, we're in the playoffs. Forgo what we've just seen. You got to play the matchups right. Josh Allen is not Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes. You got to be careful if you play him this week.
Yep. All right, now we're going to hit a beer review. You good with that?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. I don't know what I'm going
Beer
to
review.
Look, to our listeners, if I'm out of it, I completely apologize. We won 2 buckets plus a free round of beer in trivia tonight, and just trying to get this episode in. So I am very, very not here right now. As I'm sure Dan can appreciate.
It's been fun. I love it.
Shit show that I have ever been for an episode. We're gonna go ahead and hit peer review, and then we'll get into the finishes and shit. Just for your peace of mind, I picked most of my picks and stuff last night when I was sober, so they should be okay. Dan, what do you got?
So I'm quite trying to figure out what to make of this beer. Again, I'm drinking North Coast's Old Stock Hill 2017 year. Doesn't get much on the nose, and I think that's probably because more so of the glass. I can't get enough of the aromas to it. But on the mouthfeel, it lends to this kind of fruity sweetness that comes with it. I can't make up the fruit that it's supposed to come out with, but it's got this almost sweet toffee flavor to go along with it. It sits at 10.2%, at least per the website. I don't know how much has changed over the last 2 years of it aging, but it's a very good taster. I almost want to pick up the 19 4-pack at work and give that a try and see what I think differently, but it's been a pleasant surprise. It almost looks like water caramel, and it kind of gives off that taste to it. It's a very interesting beverage.
Yep, and for me, I had Dad's Cookie Co. from O'Fallon Brewery, which is a Scotch oatmeal cookie ale, or stout rather, and it's really good. You get a lot of cinnamon off it. You get a lot of the Scotch off of it. It really hits you with the flavor of what you'd expect out of an oatmeal cookie that was made from that type of place. It tastes like you bite into that, and as you finish it, it kind of lingers a little bit, and it's not as, I will say, not as dry as you would expect from something like that. It's a little chewy, but what you expect from something that describes itself as a Scotch cookie cutter ale, basically. It is very, very good. It has a lot of flavor to it, and I think that you can get really what they're trying to do off of this particular beer. So, and that's the most important part to me is when you put up a beer, like, can I understand what you're trying to do? And in this case, yes, I absolutely can what they're trying to do, can get what they're trying to do, and can appreciate what they're trying to do based on the product that they put forward. So, good job to O'Fallon. You'd like it,
It sounds good.
and I'll probably save you.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna go ahead and get into weekly specials. I'll have to drop for that. Hit that. Maybe.
Weekly specials.
All right. Go ahead with Ryan Tannehill at Oakland.
Ryan Tannehill gets Oakland this week. Over the past 4 weeks, Oakland's been a little bit better against quarterbacks, but on the year, they've given up the fourth most points, 27 touchdowns at 8 picks, and Tannehill has actually been on a pretty damn good tear lately. Since taking over the starter in week 7, he's been averaging 21.6 points per game. That's good for 6 best amongst quarterbacks. He's had 3 straight weeks of multiple touchdown passes. He's had 3 rushing touchdowns over his past 4 games. And with 2 games over 30 yards rushing, Tannehill is a fantastic streaming option for you wild card players this week.
All right. For me, outside of Tannehill, I'm going with Sam Darnold versus Miami. Miami has not been great against the quarterback as of late, and even more so by the fact that I have not been great. Ryan Tannehill's been able to throw enough to keep up. So Sam Darnold is going to be in a condition where it's a very winnable game, but not a game that you can sit back on. So I'm going with Sam Darnold. We've seen 2 of the last 3 weeks, they've scored 34 points on offense. Sam Darnold's been able to generate offense until last week. Cincinnati game was weird, but the Miami game is another one where the Jets should have to piece together some offensive drives against Miami, and should be able to keep that game close to where Sam Darnold is absolutely worth a start.
It's going to be a shootout. I'm calling this game. This is going to be the highest scoring game of the week.
It very well could be. All right, you've got Vance McDonald versus Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we're doing the Vance dance. This one's really easy. You play tight ends against Arizona. It's really as simple as that. Tyler Higbee just put up 100 and a touchdown on this defense. You play Vance dance. Let's move on.
All right. Yeah, you do. Jack Doyle against Tampa Bay, and this is more of a situation where I expect T.Y. Hilton to not play. I expect Zach Pascal to be limited. I expect Paris Campbell to be limited with a hand injury, and Eric Ebron to be out. So Jack Doyle is going to be the most trusted receiver for the Colts against a Tampa Bay passing offense that is very, very beatable, and a tight end position that is very, very streamable. So I think you go Jack Doyle in that particular condition.
I love it. Good call.
All right, you've got Packers versus Washington.
Yeah, so they've been a bit boom busty on defense this year, but they thrive off of turnovers and sacks. You get a rookie quarterback coming in Dwayne Haskins, who is kind of toned down on the turnovers. He's only had 3 total since taking over in week 9 as a starter. but he's taken 18 sacks and no less and no less than 3 sacks in a game over the past 4 games. So I like Green Bay's floor this week, and I like the opportunity for a couple turnovers.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I'm typing. Hold on. All right. Really intoxicated. Sorry, guys. The Titans against New England or against Oakland. So Logan Ryan and Adoree Jackson have been very, very good this year. We've seen Oakland struggle over the last 2 weeks. They haven't. Derek Carr has not done anything to build confidence, ability to produce against anything better than a mediocre defense, and the Titans are above mediocre on as far as their quarterbacks go. And I think that between Adoree Jackson and Logan Ryan, you're at least going to get a pick. They get some turnover points, and you're going to get Oakland held in check at bare minimum, given what they've done against the passing game over here recently, but also what Tennessee is against the passing game. I just don't like the way Oakland matches up against Tennessee in this one, and I want to steer clear of it.
I like it. It's a good call.
All right. You've got, we got to go into you call it, I guess. So I should probably hit the drop for that, and then we'll get into you and Zach Pascal.
You call it.
All right, you have Zach Pascal in DFS.
Yeah. So, he's not the most popular or the most sexy play this week in DFS, but he's got he should give you a decent base floor for targets and in your cash games that you're looking for from a cheaper receiver. He's 6,100 on FanDuel. The Bucs are going to push this game pace as best as they possibly can, and I expect Brissett and the Colts offense are going to have to throw a lot more. It's always good for Jack Doyle and always good for the number one receiver. This offense, which is going to be Zach Pascal. He just put up over 100 yards and 7 catches last week against the Titans. And then in GPP, again, I don't expect his ownership to be very high because most people are not going to want to play in a game that may or may not reach his over-under. So I like Zach Pascal if you're looking for a cheapish receiver to fill up your lineups.
All right, and for me, who just dug under his desk to try to get his phone out to even find a FanDuel participant against this, I'm just gonna skip over picking even a price point on this. Yeah, for me, I'm just gonna whatever Robbie Anderson is against Miami, and I don't even know what the price point is, honestly.
I gotcha. We'll have you talk about your bet here. And I'll put the numbers in.
Okay, cool. Because I dropped my phone as I was trying to do this.
You're
All
good.
right.
I got you.
I'm gonna go ahead and do the bet. Kansas City +3 against New England. And look, we all saw what Houston just did to New England in order to beat them. I think that with the way New England's offense has struggled, Kansas City's offense can absolutely keep up against that. Can absolutely beat them in that type of game where Kansas City is trying to shoot out against New England. I think that Patrick Mahomes is at this point in time, better quarterback than Tom Brady. And I honestly think that New England's defense is not really that much of a matchup. Look, if the Texans defense can beat New England like they just did, I think Kansas City's speed can also put a number on New England. So I'm putting Kansas City +3 against New England in a game bet because I honestly think that Kansas City can just outright beat New England in this particular type of game. I think that their offense, Patrick Mahomes, is better than what their defense can muster, and I don't think Tom Brady at this point in his career has the offense to even come close to keeping up with them.
Yeah, I agree with this one.
Yep. And Robbie Anderson, 5,100 on DraftKings. Thank you, Dan, for putting that in. Yes. And this just goes with the Dolphins against the Jets, really. And the Dolphins, look, they signed Eric Rowe. They found something in their secondary. It's not going to be what comes out against Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson has been absolutely lights out, just like he is in the playoffs. And I'm just gonna ride that Robbie Anderson playoffs narrative like he has been for the last year or so into DFS this week, honestly, because Robbie Anderson has been lights out in the playoffs, and he doesn't have anything to work against him necessarily, even this week. He's been good enough to produce. I think he stays good enough to produce in this last couple weeks because that's just kind of what Robbie Anderson has done.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Detroit.
Last one, and then you can go to bed. I can go to bed.
I definitely need to, if you haven't noticed.
Detroit plus 13 at Minnesota. Vikings are 0-2 in this year when they're favored by 10 or more points. I saw on Twitter about 3 hours ago that during the Mike Zimmer era, the Vikings are 2-4-1 when they're favored by more than 10 points against the spread. So Detroit's got them on that side. Minnesota historically just seems to just downplay, especially against weaker quarterbacks, and I will not be shocked if we see another Kenny Galladay / and or Marvin Jones big play for a touchdown to keep this game closer than what it actually is. So hammer that Detroit plus 13. Hammer the over because I think it'll go over as well. And that's it.
All right, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been Beerfield Fantasy Football at 3BFF from Springfield, Illinois. I'm at Hot BFF with GPs, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. And if I somehow win this week, I deserve to be punished anyway because I am way too drunk to even do an episode. This is something
it's been enjoyable.
We hope to avoid because I can not even logic right now. And if I somehow, some way come out ahead in this, I don't even know how the fuck that happened. So,
I mean, you put your stuff together before you got hammered, so that's the win on your part.
I guess I did. I put something together to kind of sort of justify before I got hammered. So that's where we're at. So, we'll be here for you through week 16, and then we're probably going to change the format a little bit. So, but yeah, we're here. Beerfield Fantasy Football. I'm at Hot BFF. He's at 3BFF. Goes at Beerfield FF. We'll be here on Sunday at Beerfield Fantasy Football. And, hopefully some of our drunken picks win you something. And if not, well, hopefully we do better for you on Sunday.
Yep. See you guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.